Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Ich krieg zweimal vierter Kanto erster Teil in Deutsch, aber ich brauche Englisch.
So is that the right one?
Huh? But 2 times the same book. So in German. So speak English. Okay. Ja, heute spreche ich mal Englisch. So, we are reading from the Canto 4, Creation of the Fourth Order, chapter 13. Chapter 13. The descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. Text 38. Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Prashya Vaipatyur Adade.
Prashya Vaipatyur Adade.
Prashya Vaipatyur Adade.
Prashya Vaipatyur Adade.
Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Prashya Vaipatyur Adade. Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Garbham Kala Upavrite.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Kumaram Sushuve Braja.
Okay?
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Satat Pung Savanam Ragi.
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavute
Garvam Kala Upavute
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja Satatvam Savanam Raji
Satatvam Savanam Raji
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavute
Garvam Kala Upavute
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Satatvam Savanam Ragni
Satatvam Savanam Raji
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavrate
Garvam Kala Upavute
Kumaram Sushube Praja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Satatvam Savanam Ragi
Satatvam Savanam Raji
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavrite
Garvam Kala Upavute
Kumaram Sushube Praja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Yes.
Satatvam Savanam Ragi
Satatvam Savanam Raji
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavrite
Garvam Kala Upavute
Kumaram Sushube Praja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Yes, one more. One more.
Satatvam Savanam Ragi
Satatvam Savanam Raji
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Prasya Vaipatyoradate
Garvam Kala Upavite
Garvam Kala Upavite
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Kumaram Sushube Bhaja
Sa,
Sa
she,
She
tat,
Tat
dead food, pong savam,
Savanam
which produces a male child. Ragi,
Ragi
the queen. Prasya,
Prasya
eating. Vai,
Vai
indeed.
Indeed
Patyu,
Patyu
from the husband. Adade,
Adate
conceived. Garbam,
Garvam
pregnancy. Kale,
Kale
when the due time. Upavrite, appeared. Kumaram,
Kumaram
a son.
Asan
Sushuve,
Sushube
give birth to.
Vastu
Abraja,
Apacha
having no son.
Hanusan
Translation. Although the queen had no son after eating that food, which had the power to produce a male child, she became pregnant by her husband, and in due course of time she gave birth to a son. Purport. Among the 10 kinds of purificatory processes, one is Pung Savanam, in which the wife is offered some prasad, or remnants of foodstuffs offered to Lord Vishnu, so that after sexual intercourse with her husband, she may conceive a child. Homa Yajna Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmenitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangong Langayati Girim Yat Kripatam Hang Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swavadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, who of you will have children?
Wer von euch wird Kinder haben?
Nobody? Will have, not who has. You want to have children? You also? Okay. So you also? Or you have already children? No, you will have children. So it's very important.
So, das ist ja wichtig.
It's very important. We have to learn this.
Wir müssen das
If you
lernen.
want to have children,
Wenn du Kinder haben willst,
then we should understand the process, how children are made.
wie Kinder
And Prabhupada actually is quite clear when he says, if you don't understand this, people get children like cats and dogs.
verstehst,
Sometimes right, it's like just cats and dogs. which means they don't know what they do. Like cats and dogs, they just engage in sexual intercourse because of natural urges. Like interesting also that there is timings for them, right? There are some for the animals. There are some certain timings when they have intercourse, and if it's not the season, they are not bothered by it, more or less. But then if the season is very strong, Paarungszeit, it's called Paarungszeit, like in spring or something, and then they have to, and it's very important for them. Humans don't have that. We can have always Paarungszeit. Urge is always there. It's always interesting. And if we are just abiding by this urge, and then the children happen, very often children just happen. The wife says, the wife or the girlfriend, or not even girlfriend says, oh, I'm pregnant. Happened. Oops. Good or not good, let's see the reactions. Is it good or bad now? Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's good. I don't know. And the worst thing is that they can abort the child. If it's not good, they abort the child. It's so bad. It's so bad. Now there were elections in America, and the Democratic Party, one of their main programs and arguments that they vote her was, I will make abortion more free. This was one of their main points. And the other party said, no, we don't want it. They want to restrict this more. So who is better from that point of view? Just from that point of view. Other points you can discuss, but from that point of view, it's good that this president was elected. From that point of view. Because he is, they call it pro-life. Pro-life. Of course, it's terrible how we can, Prabhupada was so against it. And there should be for a devotee no doubt that this is bad. Why do I say this? Because devotees are also influenced by sometimes material information. And there are devotees who even do it. I heard actually one person is doing it. This is, how can you do this? This is so bad. One of the worst things. To kill your own child in the womb is so... I don't even have to say that it's bad. But nowadays we have to. People are so stupid. They're just stupid, like straw in their brains, you know. And it's good that karma will strike them heavily to wake them up from their ignorance, from the stupidity. People are stupid and do very, very bad things. And so it's good there is karma which hits them hard to wake them up. I don't mean that you should suffer, but they should change. And if it's the only way to change, then they have to get really hit heavily. You know? And if you can tell them, please, this is not good, don't do this, and they don't do it, then of course better. But some people, most people actually are so stupid, like animals, argumentum ad baculum, Prabhupada says, argumentum ad baculum, you need the argument of the stick. Animal, you cannot reason. You cannot reason with an animal, you cannot say, please don't do this, you know. You cannot tell the, I don't know, tiger, don't bite the deer or something, you know, it's not nice. No? Like with the children, my son, if he does something bad, we don't hit him, he's too small, you don't hit him, you don't hit him at all, not even because he's small, but you can try to reason a bit, but the reasoning is so weak. You know, yesterday he was playing around with a Schraubenzieher, Schraubendreher, how do you call this in English? Screwdriver, yeah, screwdriver, no? And we were not looking, he was pinching, he has like a baby mridanga, small baby mridanga, he was sticking in the mridanga, you know, on the top part, you know, he was just playing, he didn't know. I said, oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're playing. Yeah, but you destroyed the mridanga. But, I'm playing. No, you play with your car, you can use the screwdriver, not on the mridanga. He didn't understand, you know. He just doesn't understand what you want to do. He had no reason, right? For him, this was not the problem. It was not that he was bad or something, he was just playing, you know. So, they're like animals, children, the reason will come on time. But some adults, they are stupid like animals, you know. They are, sorry to say, but they are stupid like animals. You cannot do anything. They just heavy laws have to strike them. What to do? And this is one point. This abortion thing. This is so stupid. Oh, it just happened. We don't want it. We just kill it. You know. Oh, my friend of mine also did. No problem. But interesting, when they do it, I heard there are heavy reactions. That women feel very, very, very bad afterwards. Very often. I know two cases in my own family, actually. They were really feeling bad. Something happens with them. Good, Sorry. So, but back to the positive here. So we hear here about progeny. So how of course we know Garbhadan Samskara. It's very important, and it's very important. Prabhupada stresses it so much. You should plan when to have intercourse, and then you prepare mentally, spiritually, do it proper, do it right. It's a ritual. And Krishna even says in Bhagavad Gita, this kind of sex life, it's myself. I am like this. It's holy. There's nothing bad about it. Nothing. It's so good. Because a good soul will be attracted. And you will be blessed by a nice child. Yeah. And which makes everything way more easy. Because sometimes children, they are just bad, what can you do? They are just bad. They have bad character, and when they're small already, they have bad character, and they just are a burden for the parents. Yes. Of course, children go through many phases. We cannot say, oh, he's like a little demon because he destroyed the Mridanga. They do bad things, they don't know, but if you try and guide them, they will become good. They should become good at least. We hope, how do you know? But you try your best. So Prabhupada made the Garbhadan Samskara very simple. Just chant 50 rounds. Both chant 50 rounds. Yeah, that should be good. But there are a couple of more things involved. Timing, which time, which day, astrologically, which is good. According to the calendar, the even and odd days. Get a male, get a female child. It's also interesting. Yeah, when you go on an odd day, I think odd day was the female child. Even day was the male child. Of course, Titi also, you talk with astrologer, finds out which timing is good, which is not good, all that. And a couple of other things. So this should be, taken care of, should be very careful. So similar thing here, the king, Anga, he did not have a child. He didn't want a child. I don't know if he didn't want a child, but yesterday when Sanjay gave the lecture, and it was interesting that the yagyas which he wanted to do as a king did not work out because he did not have a child. Right? So was it not working? Or did he know in his wisdom, actually my wife's background is not so good, I will get a Vena child, so better have no child at all. I don't know. We don't know. Because he was very wise, he was a great king. Why was he marrying her in the first place then? Who knows? But then the priest told him, if you want to have successful yagyas, which is very important for a kingdom, you need a son so that the demigods will accept that. So they did this yagya. Out of the yagya, as we heard, came a person and gave them this, was it sweet rice or something? Milk rice, yeah, sweet rice, same. And this is what we hear now. Satat, tat. The tat means that, and refers to this offering. Sa, the long, is the she, so the queen. She, Pungsavanam Ragi. Ragi, the queen, took this offering and Prashya means she ate it. Vai Patyur Adade, and through this, Patyur with her husband, Patyur was in genitive singular, masculinum. Genitive. Her husband, right? Adade was meant she took on herself, or through this activity, and here it's translated as conceived. So when she came together with her husband, after eating this, then she became pregnant. Garbham, kala means like at a certain time, not a certain time, at the right time. I was looking up the grammar of this verse because I find this interesting. This kale, according to this information, is in locative. Kale means at that time, but locative is one of the 8 cases in Sanskrit. and is the case which you use when something is in, like in the house, right? There's a certain case to say that. In German we don't have a locative. In Sanskrit you have a locative when something is in something, so or close to something. Yeah. So, but it's interesting that you have this word kale in a locative case. At the right time, in the right time, yeah, in the right time, so to say. So at this right time, she got a child, Kumaram, a son. Kumaram means son. And interesting, I looked also up the etymology, and this word Kumara, which we know because it's a kind of famous word, it comes from Ku, means low, or means also the earth, and Mara means death. Someone who destroys something what is very low or lowly is a Kumara, according to that. Similar to the word Putra. Putra means also son, which means one who liberates from hell. A son, if you have a good son, he will liberate you from hell. In case you go to hell, he will do yagyas, he is pious and can liberate you. So similarly, Kumara means someone who destroys the lowly, the bad. A good son. If it's a bad son, of course, he will not do that. Kumaram Sushuve gave birth. Apraja. She has no child. Praja means like progeny, children. Apraja, no children. So she has no children. So at a certain time she got this child. And so Pungsavanam. Interesting. Prabhupada says this Pungsavanam is one of the 10 purificatory processes. There's 10. Prabhupada always calls it in English purificatory process. Or in German we say, how's it called in German? Reinigungsvorgang or something like this. Läuterungsvorgang, Reinigung, something like this. We translate it. It's not that Prabhupada says like this. Some translations are quite funny. We might find better ones. Like my guru always, when he gives lecture, very often he says, die Erscheinungsweise der Reinheit. Because devotees in the beginning did not say Tugend, but Reinheit. But some or other, then in the translations they changed to Tugend. And now we all say Tugend, but yeah. Or Tamaguna. Tamaguna. Prabhupada calls it ignorance. But sometimes he calls it also darkness, because Tamas means darkness. Yeah. So it's not like, because Sanskrit sometimes has more meanings, no? But just to, if you have more understanding of the different words, so we get a clearer picture of the word itself. So, purificatory process or samskara. This is actually what it's called in Sanskrit, right? Samskara. And Prabhupada says there are 10 samskaras. Yeah? 10 oh, good that Govinda comes now. Yes, he's more. No, he knows about the samskaras, because there are 10 samskaras which should be done, and one among those is this Pungsavanam. So, and now it's interesting, because we did also Pungsavanam with Ramananda, but as far as I remember, it was during the pregnancy. But here it's before the pregnancy. Because they say now, because this person comes out of the fire, they give this milk rice, she eats it, and this was the Pungsavanam, to get a male child. Because we do that also, right? We eat sweet rice. The lady eats sweet rice. Yeah, but we do it in the 4th, 5th month or something, where we might still influence the gender or something. Was it not already? I don't know, you know. It's not already kind of fixed. Is it not already? Can it be changed? Would be interesting. You do I don't know, if you can see the gender already before we normally do Pungsavanam. But if you could see, and it's a girl, and then you do Pungsavanam, it changes into a boy. I hope it doesn't mess up the whole thing, you know, because we know from Shastra sometimes you have that. Like one famous story, I didn't know, recently I got to know that. Amba, who was kidnapped by Bhishma, he took Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, 3 girls, for his brother, more or less, or something like this, you know, to get, his name was Vichitravirya. Was it Vichitravirya? Vichitravirya. He should be the next king. Bhishma did not become the king because he said, I will stay brahmachari, because for for the lust of my father, more or less. Now, his father really wanted to have this girl, Satyavati. His father, name? Huh? What was the name of Bhishma's father? King? Shantanu, yes. Shantanu. He fell in love with Satyavati, very beautiful girl. I know also some background story of her anyway. So, but the father of Satyavati said, no, you cannot marry her. And the king was like, are you crazy? I am the king. And I want to marry your daughter, which is like the best what can happen to her. Every man thinks this, the best what could happen to you is, that I want to marry you. I don't know, if they think like that, it would be nice. But he said, yeah, no problem, she might, of course, but I want, and he was like in the ego, I want that my grandson will become the next king, And anyway, long story, he thought if Bhishma, because he had a son already, previously with Ganga, Bhishma, but he's the older, he will become the next king, but I want that my son becomes the next king. And the father was like, oh, I cannot marry her, and I cannot take the throne away from Bhishma. But Bhishma was so selfless, said, okay, yes, I will not become the king. The son of you and Satyavati can become the king. And then he went to the fisherman and said, okay, we have a deal. And said, no. He said, what now? The problem is not Bhishma, but the children of Bhishma. They will say, actually, we should have been in the lineage of the rulers, and there will come a quarrel, as we have seen anyways, Pandu and the Kauravas and all that. So then Bhishma said, okay, then I will have no children. I am a brahmachari. So that's why in this lineage of Satyavati, her children, with Shantanu, there were two sons, Vichitravirya and the Gandharva Chitrarata. Chitrarata? What's his name? Chitrarata? Anyway, he died so quickly because he had a fight with this Gandharva. So Vichitravirya, Bhishma went out, brought these three girls, Ambika and Ambalika. He kidnapped them. Yeah, good. Can we do that? Some brahmachari. Finally, I will marry now. I will kidnap the brahmacharini out of the brahmacharini ashram. Swayamvara, I don't know how,
The Swayamvara, what if the Mataji comes to the brahmachari and chooses one?
Yeah, the Swayamvara, the self-chosen, it's like there was always this gathering, and there was some certain, it was not that, she can choose, but at the same time, often we hear that you will get me if you pass this test. No? This criteria. So she was not saying you, but any of you pass the test and you will get me. Yeah. So that was probably then, I don't know, how it's then Swayamvara and really, right? But she had some saying, definitely. So, he took these three girls, and two of them had no problem. Ambika and Ambalika, they were fine with it, no problem. But Amba, she had a problem. Why? Because she chose someone else, Swayamvara actually, she chose someone else, who will be a future enemy of Krishna also, wasn't it? What was his name? Shalya, not Shalva, because Shalva was fighting against Krishna. Shalya, he was taking part in also in the battle. No, I mix it up now. These the names. Anyway, this is not my point. I don't want to go into this direction. But the thing is, she was not accepted by this person then, because he said, "Oh, you got touched already by Bhishma, or he done this and that." And she had no husband. She went back to Bhishma. Bhishma didn't want to marry her. She tried everything that Bhishma will marry her. It was not working out. Even Parashuram could not change him, even in a battle. So she had no one. No one wanted to marry her. And she was so, how to say it? So I don't want to say fried. She was
angry.
no, not angry, but she was like deeply hurt. You know, she was like traumatized. She was over with life and everything, and she went to the sages and she made austerity for the death of Bhishma. She didn't want to do any. She just wanted revenge. So she could not do this in this body because way too weak. Bhishma is so strong. He even defeated Parashuram. So she came back in next life as the child of Drupada. Yeah, Drupada. She came back as this, and she became Shikandi. No, Shikandi. So, but when she came as Shikandi, she was actually born as a girl. How was it? I forgot. But she was born as a girl. But then there was something going on that she becomes a boy.
She offended somehow some Kumara or some sage. Something, but it became
yeah, anyway, but because I always thought she was just born as Shikandi as a boy and then she defeated Bhishma and all that. But no, actually she was born as a girl. And then there was something to that she becomes
she had a blessing that one time she can, because the parents they want to have a boy. She was a girl.
Yeah.
But then they hid it somehow and said no, it's a boy. But then she came more, that it was visible. And then they asked some kind of sage or whatever.
No. It was a yaksha. Now remember, it was a yaksha. They went to a yaksha in the forest and traded the gender with the yaksha, so she can become a boy. Now remember.
But only for a certain time.
Yeah.
There was some deal, and then they didn't want to come back to the.
No. You mix it up with a story from the 9th canto, another story where there was a gender. Yeah. But then this yaksha, he said, okay, I will do. And she should have given it back after the death of Bhishma, but still, this was different. She should have given back. But in the meantime, Kuvera came to the yaksha, who was now a yakshini. He was actually a great devotee of Kuvera. And Kuvera was, what is going on with you? He was not pleased. And he was so angered that he said, you stay forever, yakshini, I don't want to see you again. He prohibited a change, that is, changes back. Yeah. And so Shikandi stayed whole life as a boy. But that what you mean is in the 9th canto, another story of this king who was going to the forest which was ruled by Parvati, and Parvati said to Shiva, whenever a man enters this forest, they will transform into women. And once the king was going, I forgot the name, you can look it up, as the beginning of the 9th canto, and he was going to the forest with his ministers and the horses, and suddenly all of them transformed into women. Even the horses became female horses. We can laugh about it, but I guess that's really bad, Imagine you go in the forest and suddenly, you... Yeah. Oh, I'm now a gopi, I jumped nice rounds. It worked, finally.
Move from this ashram to that
You have to move, or I don't know what you tell your wife then. So. So I guess this is weird. So they felt really, really weird. Very weird. But then there was something that he had a deal to, and then he changed back and forth. This was this king, he changed back and forth, and then the citizens were not happy about that. We want a king, not like this, it was a problem. But back to this Pungsavanam, now that Ramananda is here. Pungsavanam we do in which month?
You start with the 3rd month, you can also make it together with the Simantoyan. It's basically, it's making a male child, because you do this only for the first pregnancy, because it's considered that you should have first a boy who continue the lineage, and then you're not so careful anymore. But So that's done, and previously, of course, there was no, that they looked X-ray or ultrasound.
But the point is that we do it in the 3rd month of pregnancy, but here it's said they did before the pregnancy. It was something like you do before that you get a male child. Anyway, I just say.
This is there's some scars that are very, very
Yeah,
different.
of course. Yeah.
And it's also mainly we do the some scars for the protection of the child and to get, the mother and the child, and to get blessings from the Vaishnavas.
Yes, of course. But still, the traditional thing is Pungsavanam, as is said here, which produces a male child. This is the word-for-word translation, and in the grammar of the word, where do I have it? Pungsavanam. Das Pungsavana-Ritual, ein Ritual, das durchgeführt wird, um die Geburt des männlichen Kindes zu fördern, zusammengesetzt aus Pung, Mann, Savana, Erzeugung. Savana. Yeah, so that's what it means.
Sometimes Indian couples come here and say, we want to do Garbhadan Samskara.
Yeah, Garbhadana. Dana means also giving. So you give the child, you give just like this intercourse. Garbhadana means the intercourse, but there are some rituals before you do the intercourse, directly before. But yeah, Garbhadana means like the intercourse itself, which is also a samskara. Okay, so there are 10 samskaras. So do we know all the 10 samskaras? So it starts, sometimes it's at Vivaha Yajna, it's the first. So from the point when but Vivaha Yajna is one for the parents, but is it also one for the child then? So to say?
Yeah,
from which point of view do we look at it?
If the parents don't have samskara, then basically you cannot give samskara to the children. Yeah. And because the child comes out of the parents, you should have Vivaha first.
Okay, but still, from the point of view of the child, it's not. Then let's say Garbhadan. So the first ritual is Garbhadan Samskara, where the child is produced, where the semen enters the womb and connects with the egg, and so this connection, the body is created of the soul, which is also an amazing process. Okay, so this is the first samskara. So then the second?
Pumsavan.
Then this one.
I have to look it up. What ISKCON counts on the 10th samskara, because this is what Prabhupada says. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay, anyway, so Pungsavana we know now, what's it, and then we have the other. What are these 10?
Chatakarna.
Huh?
Chatakarna for sure. Namkarana.
Okay, but this is all after the birth. What is still during the pregnancy?
Yeah, this is the 10 samskaras what the child should go through. It's not 10 before birth.
No, 10, but 10 in general, so the whole life. 10 in the whole life, that's what I mean. So, I want to go chronologically. So, first Garbhadana, then Pungsavana.
I looked up what it belongs to it, because you can make more. You can say Sushanti Homa, Chatakarna.
Chatakarna means birth ceremony. Birth ceremony. This meant the cutting of the umbilical cord. Yeah. Is also okay.
Namkarana.
Namkarana means giving of. One thing. You say and I speak a little. So Namkarana means when you get a name, because this is very important, that the child has a name and there's a certain ceremony connected with this. And in Christian tradition, you do this also very early on when the child is born, but they do it with water, right? In Christian tradition, they do it with water. We do it with fire, because in the Jewish tradition, they did but it's interesting. Actually, the Christians, they're very smart. The institution of the Christians is very smart, because actually this name Karana, they combined with initiation, with Diksha more or less. Yeah? Because the Taufe, as we call it, which is done with water, traditionally you enter with your guru or your master, as Jesus did with Johannes dem Täufer. It's called der Täufer because this is what he did, the Taufe. in the water. And then there's a whole ceremony and prayer and all this, and this is to bekunden. How do you say bekunden?
Announce.
To announce, I am now, I believe now in God. And so they put him on the water, I think even 3 times under the water. And then you come out like new washed and this and that, like this, the ritual now I'm considered to belong to this religion, to this Christian religion. So, and this normally happens, when do you do Diksha? Diksha means the giving of knowledge, Divya Gyan, spiritual knowledge. Means there was a lot of preparation before the Diksha in form of instruction by the spiritual master, so that you really know what to do and you know that you want to do that. And you say, yes, I want to do that, and you give some promises in the initiation. So you don't give Diksha, do as baby. Would be very funny if you give Diksha to a baby. But this is what they do. Because the Taufe is, now you are a Christian. And so they have them already from the beginning in their fold. They got them. Yeah? And many religions, also in Islam, when you are born a Muslim and you are Muslim. You cannot change that. And actually many Hindus also think like this. And this is what Prabhupada heavily criticizes. He says, no, you can't change that. You can, especially, he says like this, people do change it and can change it. Nowadays it's more easy. In the past, if you say, no, I'm not a Muslim anymore, they kill you. Very easy, So nobody was leaving the faith, We kill you. You cannot, leave God. Which is really, really terrible. Okay. I'm a Muslim, I believe in God. Completely forced. So Prabhupada says you can change this and that, but what you cannot change is your Sanatan Dharma, your real nature, spiritual nature. So this is the real religion. This is what you cannot change. So Namkarana, this is the giving of the name. We just give a name. It's not the initiation, it's just this child has a name. Okay, so then after Namkarana you have the hair cutting. Huh? Annaprashna, yes. Annaprashna meaning first time the child eats grains. Yeah, okay, so that is prepared. Good. Then you have the hair cutting? Or?
Chudakarna is for boys, yeah.
Okay. And when do you have this ear piercing ceremony? Is this actually really authentic, ear piercing? Why do they do that?
Yeah, I have to look it up, what Prabhupada counts amongst the samskaras.
Yeah.
Because this cutting hair is not necessary, it's only for boys to have Chudakarna, and this is where they leave the Sika.
Yeah.
With Mundan is you cut it completely, and this is for everybody. It should be done.
Mundan is not done by everyone. So it really depends.
No, Mundan should be done by everyone.
Yeah, but in India it's not followed that way because of the caste system. Usually Brahmins do it.
Oh, okay, only Brahmins.
Yeah, no, Brahmins only Chudakarna, they do this because they're leaving the Sika. The Mundan is after 6 months. You should cut off the hair of the baby because it's considered impure, and this is done for boys and girls.
Yeah,
but he means that's only done for Brahmanas, not for Shudras.
Yeah, because there is a lot of. Because of the whole caste thing, they try to suppress and
That's what I'm saying. I have to see what Prabhupada counts and things amongst them, because in India...
Yeah, of course, so many other things come up. So what are the 10, what Prabhupada quotes, that's the point.
And I'm just looking, but I'm...
Yeah, okay.
Actually, there are 16 samskaras.
Huh?
By default, there are 16 samskaras.
Yeah, I know there are different countings, but Prabhupada says here 10.
Yeah.
So that's the point. So what are these 10? And of course there are many others also, right? But these 10 seem then to be the most important. Yeah. And okay, so then we have to see what Ramananda says about these 10. But the main point of this is that a human being has to go through certain stages in life which shall be blessed by these ceremonies. And that really there's like an outline for life, and there are certain things which have to be done, which are very important for the development, right? And also Vivaha Yajna is very, very important. It's actually normal and it should be done. Actually everyone should marry. It's so important for the development of a human being, to have a family, to take care, especially for men as women. Yeah, and this is just an exception if someone doesn't do that. It's just an exception. But of course, we are in a spiritual movement which is very dominated and inspired by a very austerity dominated and renunciant dominated founders like the Goswamis and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all that. And because we have a missionary spirit, and for the mission, of course, you can argue what is better for the mission. But from one point of view, definitely, renunciants are better for the mission. Because they just have way more time. They just have way more time. In general, like we Grihastas here, we are a little special because we are not really Grihastas, we are not really brahmacharis, but we are inside the movement. But most of the Grihastas have to work 8 hours a day. And sometimes even more. So how much do you want to then still do? Right? It's like the majority of your life is occupied by this material activity and by family life and all that. So, and this is the majority of Grihastas. They have to do that. So of course, for the mission, renunciants are better. But for the development of a human being, the Grihasta ashram is very important. It forces you to serve. Because the binding to family is so strong, you have to serve them. And also because of love, you want to serve them. And this to recreate outside the family setting is very difficult. Of course we say, Vaishnava das, Anudas, serve everyone, love everyone. But it's very difficult for me especially to love Johannes. Or you. Or anyone. Because it's very, why? But my son and wife, my mother, father, it's very easy. It's very easy and natural. Because it's natural. Yeah? Because we are not so transcendental. Of course, if you're transcendental soul, you love everyone, spiritual platform, we're all children of Krishna. Different. This is different, but it's very difficult, very high. So the Grihasta ashram forces you to take out responsibility, to serve selflessly and do your duties. Do your duties. Become a responsible person. Even on the market, when you want to find a job or like a flat, they trust the person, a family man, way more than a non-family man. Naturally. Why don't you have a family? What's going on with you, it's just, what's going on with you? You are just partying, or you don't have money, you are not responsible. What's your problem? You're gay, or what's your problem, what's going on? So they are like, I don't know. But a family man, there's their wife, there's my child, 2 children, work and all that. Okay, this one trustworthy. Natural. So especially for the brahmacharis, if you want to stay brahmachari, you have to be at least as responsible as a grihasta. If not, you should not be a brahmachari. Really. Then you are, just hiding behind the freedom of the renunciation. And actually it will be very bad for you in the long run. Definitely. It will be bad for you because you don't develop. You don't go through the stages, to this experience and all that. You will not develop. It will be bad for you. So the brahmacharis have to be taken care of. They should take care of themselves to understand that. And also the community should take care of them to see, are they doing fine? Are they doing well? Are they developing for their own good? Definitely. Because if such a brahmachari is there, who maybe becomes even sannyasi, it's very powerful. It's very wonderful. He mastered it without Grihasta ashram. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. Yeah. But it's difficult actually. Actually it's difficult. He has to be very, very serious. Yeah. So, and then you go through the Grihasta ashram, children become bigger, it goes very fast. You think, it takes forever, but I think Govinda has also experienced now. His son can run now. He can run now. Isn't it amazing? A couple of weeks ago, he was just crawling around, and a couple of weeks before that, he was just doing nothing. He was flying. And suddenly he can run, and we start speaking. He speaks more. He can say this and that. Then he will go to kindergarten, and then he will go to school, and then he will become an adult. He makes driving license, drives around your car, and does all kinds of things. Let's hope good things, devotional things. Don't, do the stupid things what we did when we were 16 or 14 or 12, or I don't know when it started. I don't know when I was the first time drunk. I think I was 14 or 13, so not too early. Yeah, so that was normal, it was okay. So, yeah, then you have to get a couple of times drunk in life to understand it's not so nice. Learn by doing. So hope our children will not go through that. And then, he will also marry and this and that. But the mother doesn't want to think about this. No, we should stay always like my little boy, my baby, this and that. No, I don't want to think that he's like 18 and like a man and this and that. No, it's baby. Yeah, anyway, she will see him the whole life as a baby. If everything works fine, she will see him her whole life as a baby. That's normal. Yeah, so then the children grow up, and the mother might think, no, wait, don't grow so fast. And then the father says, grow faster, faster. What? Still only 6 years, huh? No, because very nice. If then with time he becomes he can do everything himself. And you become a little bit more free again. And everyone becomes more free, actually. Everyone becomes more independent. Because why is the man looking forward? Because he has a spiritual desire. And he wants to chant more, he wants to read more, wants to preach more. And he understands that this family life, it goes into a different phase. And then slowly into so-called Vanaprastha stage. Where the family is still there, wife is still there, but it's now more about Krishna, about spiritual things. Children are grown up, and you can focus completely on Krishna. And don't have all these distractions anymore. And then if the man wants, and has, of course, if it's okay for the wife and all that, you can take sannyas. If the wife is taking care, if the son, that's why the son is important, also to take care of the mother. If she's in a nice setting, then you take sannyas. It's not necessary, doesn't have to be, but can be. And then he lives very renounced, very austere, very simple. No material desires anymore. He went through everything. No attraction anymore to women. Sees all women as spiritual souls. He went through all that. He saw all that. He experienced all that. He wants to preach, and he's very, very wise. He went through all in life. He was a brahmachari before. He was studying. He was a grihastha. He was responsible. He understood human behavior, selflessness. He understands people because he experienced it. So he can preach nicely and slowly becomes old and can die. This is the last samskara, when his head will get cracked in the fire. Normally they crack when they burn the body. In India they do it like more public. In Germany you don't do that. I was not seeing Mangalananda, after I decorated him. A good friend of mine was dying 10 years already ago? No, 10 years, 5 years ago. And then I went to his funeral, and they wanted to burn him. They burned him. And I went to the funeral, and I did not expect it. And then this person who, how to say, Totengräber. Bestatter, Totengräber. He said, okay, we need now 3 or 4 of you to decorate him, to clean him, to dress him. Whom? Yeah, Mangalananda. And I was not on this list or something, but one other jumped off, and I said, okay, I do it, I never did this. Then we went down, he took him out of the freezer. He was deeply frozen, was lying there. Oh, good Mangalananda. And then we cleaned him, dressed him, and then he was prepared for getting burnt.
Und dann wurde der Körper vorbereitet und verbrannt.
But we were not, as I said, we were not burning him and then cracking his head.
Und dann
Be very rude. But in India, they do that, as I heard, because if you don't do that, the head will explode and all the brain substance will splash everywhere. So they have a long stick with a spike, and they, at one point they crack the head that the pressure goes out.
I mean, it depends really. Where is it happening?
No, I heard in
Because
Puri
in,
they do that.
Like for example, in Varanasi, there is this Manikarnika Ghat.
Yeah.
Over there, mostly the cremation rites are done.
Yeah.
And they just leave the body,
Yeah.
and the family members have to wait till there is a sound comes from the skull.
Oh, they do like
Once that's done, you can go.
Ah, okay. So they do like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do anything?
No.
You just wait over there, and the person who's doing all the
I heard that.
he tells you to wait till the sound comes, and there's a big sound.
Ah, okay. Good. Nice. Okay, nice.
Okay.
Maybe if they want to go quicker, they
Maybe if you wanna. Okay. Where's the? Wir müssen zum Leichenschmaus.
We had Arjuna who was observing the whole day.
Yeah.
The story comes from Arjuna because Arjuna,
Yeah.
the brahmachari brother,
Yeah.
he was sitting all day chanting,
Yeah.
trying to understand death. In Manikarnika Ghat in Varanasi.
No, he wasn't. Was he? No.
Yeah,
No, I was with him.
I thought in Puri.
He was in Varanasi and he was.
Okay.
And he was all day there watching them.
Yeah.
And
He
that's
was helping them.
And he observed how they do that.
Oh.
And he asked them why they do that. He said because it can explode.
Okay, sometimes. Okay, maybe it's not always like this, and it's not a samskara. That was just a joke, you know.
No, it's a samskara.
The cracking of the head.
No, not the cracking.
No, that's what I meant.
Funeral rites.
But the funeral rite is of course, the whole funeral rite is a samskara. Yes, of course.
Antyeshti kriya. Yeah.
So if you lived your life properly, then this is glorious death, and hopefully you go to Krishna, or at least get a wonderful next birth, and everything continues. And again, but you learned a lot. But the point is, we have to learn so many things in life to really understand what's about and to go to Krishna. So it's not a small thing. We should not risk that because of some mismanagement of our life. So that's why we need also guru, sadhus to help us, to guide us through the complexities of life. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Anything to add? Yeah, Ananda.
Still somebody interested in the...
Yeah, you have the 10 now?
Samskaras. Yeah. It starts here. It's from the Samskara book, what follows the Satkriya Saradipika from Gopal Goswami. They also list first Vivaha, marriage, then Garbhadan Samskara, conception rites, and under this there's another point what then expands in the 16 is Pumsavan rites for begetting a healthy child or male child. So it's also considered healthy, for health-wise. And then the next, the third samskaras is Simantun Nayana, is parting the wife's hair by drawing a line. Protect this with the porcupine pick.
Yeah.
With the stick with the porcupine. And then to this one actually they count Sushanti Homa, rites for easier childbirth. And then the fourth samskara is Chatakarna. And under this is Nishkram. This is basically a first outing of the child when you show it to the sun, or we do it mostly when we go to the temple. And then the next one, Namkarna, name giving. And there's also Paushtika Karma, rites aimed to providing the child with good health. This you do on birthdays or something. Each birthday, when the kid is birthday, you make a Mangaloma or something like that. And Mundan is also considered to the Namkarna, so cutting the first hair. And the next one, fifth one, is I think Anaprasana, first eating solid food, namely cereals. And there is Karna Veda, piercing of the ear, falls into Anaprasana in the time.
In the time. But it's another samskara, it's not this, it doesn't belong together.
It's not the main 10 samskaras what we follow, but it would follow into the 16 samskaras.
Yeah.
And then Chudakarna, first haircut, and that's funny because many do it, the piercing of the hair together with the Chudakarna. Because the Chudakarna, the first haircut, is basically only done for boys and is only for brahmanas because they are the leaving Vasika is installed with mantras as we did for our boys, right? And there you do also the piercing of the ear, but the Chudakarna could be also come together with the Vidya Ramba, the beginning of schooling, where they learn to write the alphabet, or they do it together with the Upanayana, what is the 9th samskara.
Sacred thread.
Sacred thread, yeah, or in our case would be initiation.
Yeah, but traditionally, so they initiated the children also very early.
Yeah, it depends what kind of family or varna you're born.
Yeah, but still, early, it's not like...
at the birth itself. Because if you're born in a Vaishnava family, lineage, you're initiated at birth itself.
Yeah, but still, we get Brahminical thread very late because
it's usually connected with going to school, also the 6th.
Yeah.
Therefore, that all somehow a little bit together.
Yeah, I understand, but it's like really showing now you're ready to study.
Well, yeah.
But you go to school.
This
you go to the Gurukul.
For Brahmin families and Kshatriya families. Vaishyas already, Shudras.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And but you know, our Upanayana or initiation would be for everybody. Where you get a Brahmana family.
Upanayana is Vedic mantra and Diksha is Pachadatika.
Yeah. And therefore we when somebody asks us, we say we Sampradaya Brahmanas.
So
from a Sampradaya, not from a...
So Upanayana is, anyway, it's different than when we get our mantra Diksha.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Because we get also Namkarana.
Yeah, that's also
true. The last one is then a funeral rites.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, it's not stated here, but as far as I understand, the sannyas initiation is equal to the funeral rites. Because when you traditionally when you get sannyas, the funeral rites, samskara will be performed on you.
Yeah.
So
that's why Prabhupada said sannyas is social death.
Yeah.
That's actually really rich connected with this ritual.
Yeah, but they do it also that I don't think ISKCON, I don't think we do it.
No, in Gaudiya we don't do it, but other sampradayas you have to do your own final rites.
Yeah.
Because that is the time you're cutting all your connections with everyone.
Right.
You're no longer connected to the society.
Right. Yeah.
So cracking of the head.
Crack your head yourself.
That you cannot do yourself.
Burn yourself. Yeah. Okay, good to know. Yes. So anything else? Any question? Anything to add?
So what about the sweet rice that
Wait a second.
Oh,
yeah.
So what is it practically with the sweet rice?
Like in this situation?
What in that situation it was this way, but if for a normal rice.
Yeah, when we... So Ramananda, he can explain this.
What?
The sweet rice, when we do Pungsavana, we also have the sweet rice. He asked why.
Wait a second, why we have the sweet rice? It's Pumsavan or Sushani Homa, it's not, but we have a khichdi.
Oh yeah, it's true, we do khichdi. Khichdi.
Yeah. It's not, the sweet rice is in the Annaprasana where the baby
True. But here was sweet rice, the point is, they did the sweet rice here.
Yeah, I mean that therefore it's so many different traditions or so many different, it's basically you get the Yakya Prasad, Yakya, how's that? Some other what? Yakya Prasad,
Yeah, they say also Prasad,
yeah, you get this, and from this you get. So it's the same story with Ram, with the father Dasharat. Yeah, he had the same thing, right? He gave a big portion to. I always mix up these names.
But the point is that this like kind of the shakti of the yagya goes into this offering, especially. And this yagya was done also especially for this purpose, to get a child, a male child. So the woman should take this as kind of to help her fertility, take on the shakti, and through this it said the male child came.
Yeah.
Because prasadam anyway is like food with Shakti in general. And there's a certain specific Shakti inside according to the Yajna, which I also... Yeah. I read this also with Chitraketu, there was also the same thing.
Yeah.
Chitraketu also, they didn't have a child, and then they made also the Angira came and instructed him, and I think also they give some certain offering to her.
I think the confusing thing for us now is that this is all done before the Garbhadan Samskara.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked why in the beginning.
When we make the Pumsavan, it's done after.
Exactly. This was my starting point. That I said we need now Ramananda Govinda. So why do we do it during pregnancy and tears at the beginning? Yeah.
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 You do it 2 times.
Yeah.
Many parents come beforehand. They do Mangal Homa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Before
get blessings.
Yeah.
Okay, Sanjay.
I have the thought that maybe it's because normally you would do it after conception, but if conception doesn't work, then in special cases you have to do this in order to conceive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it helps. Yeah.
Because
so
all of the cases mentioned now, they are special cases. It didn't work before.
Okay.
Yeah, therefore many come before.
Yep.
For Mangal Homa.
Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, thanks for your participation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, 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 go Brahmanande.
Das war das erste Mal, dass wir waren in Varanasi.